Okay, let's dive in. We're looking today at Leviticus chapter 8.
Hmm.
And this is, well, it's a really vivid picture, isn't it? Detailing this huge moment, the ordination of Aaron and his sons as priests.
Yeah, it's incredibly specific.
It lays out this whole sequence, rituals, clothes, sacrifices,
Yeah.
the whole 9 yards.
And what really jumps out is just how intense and detailed the whole thing is. This isn't just, okay, you're the priest now.
Right.
It's a multi-day, very prescribed process that basically changes who they are, moving them from regular community members to being set apart for God.
And it kicks off with a direct command from the Lord to Moses. Gather the people, Aaron, his sons.
Yep.
Gather the stuff, the special garments, the anointing oil, specific offerings to a bull, 2 rams, that basket of unleavened bread.
And crucially, gather everyone, the whole assembly.
Ah, okay, so it's public.
Very public.
Yeah.
Right at the entrance to the tent of meeting. And Moses tells them straight up. The Lord commanded this, so everyone knows, everyone sees this is divinely ordered.
Establishes the authority right away. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's there, the gear's ready. First step for Aaron and his sons, purification.
Yes, Moses brings them forward, washes them with water. Basic, but fundamental, like you said, getting clean before you approach the holy.
Cleanliness first. Then comes the clothing. And this is elaborate for Aaron.
Oh yeah, the text lists it all out piece by piece and keeps saying, as the Lord commanded Moses, every single step.
It's not just robes, is it? There's the tunic, the sash.
The robe, the ephod, that special vest thing with its waistband.
And the breastpiece, holding the Urim and Thummim. That's always fascinating me.
Right. The clothing itself is like a visual job description. Each piece means something.
So the breastpiece, with the stones for the tribes, he's literally carrying the people over his heart.
That's the idea, representing them before God. And the Urim and Thummim, well, we don't know exactly how they work, but they seem to be for figuring out God's will, built right into his uniform, basically.
Wow. And the turban with that gold plate.
Yeah, the sacred diadem. It said, holiness to the Lord, right there on his forehead. A constant reminder this guy is set apart, totally dedicated to being holy.
And it wasn't only Aaron getting dressed up.
No, his sons too. Tunics, sashes, headbands. Simpler than Aaron's, but still specific priestly clothes.
Again, as commanded. It hammers home that none of this is improvised. It's all part of the plan.
And that tells you something about how they saw holiness back then. It wasn't just, an internal feeling. It involved doing specific things, using specific items, following God's instructions to the letter.
Okay, so they're washed, they're clothed. What about the anointing oil? That seems pretty key.
Absolutely central. Moses takes this special oil. First, he anoints the place, the tabernacle, everything in it. He sprinkles the altar 7 times, anoints the utensils, the basin, making the space sacred.
Setting the stage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Consecrating the environment. Then he takes that same oil and pours some right on Aaron's head.
The big moment.
That's the visual marker. He's anointed. He's the high priest.
But there's another anointing later, isn't there? Something with blood.
Yes, good point. Later on, Moses takes some of that anointing oil and mixes it with blood from the altar.
Oil and blood.
Yeah. And he sprinkles that mixture on Aaron and his clothes, and on his sons and their clothes.
What's the significance of mixing them?
Well, think about it. Oil often represents, like, God's spirit or presence, consecration. Blood represents life, atonement, purification, putting them together. It's like a super consecration, a total cleansing and setting apart for service, involving both God's presence and the power of the sacrifice.
Wow. Okay, and speaking of blood, that brings us to the sacrifices. There are 3 distinct ones here.
Right, each with its own job in the ordination. First up, a bull for a sin offering.
And Aaron and his sons lay their hands on its head. Why do they do that?
It's a symbolic act, probably about connecting themselves to the animal, transferring, in a way, their own need for purification, or maybe acknowledging potential sin before they step into this holy role. Identification.
Okay. Then Moses slaughters it, uses some blood on the altar horns.
To purify the altar itself, then pours the rest at the base. He's consecrating the altar so it can be used for atonement.
And certain parts, the fat, liver, kidneys, those get burned on the altar.
Yep, the choicest fatty portions go up to God.
But the rest of the bull hide, meat, everything else gets burned outside the camp.
That separation is really important for the sin offering. It's like the impurity it dealt with is completely removed from the sacred space, taken outside, cleansing completed.
Got it. Okay, sacrifice number 2. A ram for a burnt offering.
Same initial step. Aaron and his sons lay their hands on its head.
Identification again.
Right. Moses slaughters it, sprinkles the blood around the altar.
Hmm.
But this time, the whole ram gets burned on the altar.
The whole thing, nothing taken outside.
Nothing. It's all consumed. It's described as a pleasing aroma to the Lord. This offering is about total dedication, complete surrender to God. It follows the sin offering, you see. First, you deal with the sin, the impurity. Then you offer complete devotion.
Cleanse, then dedicate. Makes sense. Now, the third one, another ram. But this one's called the ram of ordination.
Yes, this one seems especially focused on making them priests. Again, laying on of hands, slaughtering. But then Moses does something really specific with the blood.
This is the part with the ear, right?
Exactly. Maybe the most striking image in the whole chapter. He takes some blood and puts it on the lobe of Aaron's right ear,
The right ear,
the thumb of his right hand, and the big toe of his right foot.
ear, thumb, toe, all on the right side. And he does the same for the sons.
The exact same thing for Aaron's sons.
Okay, what is that about? Ear, hand, foot.
It's incredibly symbolic. Think about it. The ear, to hear God's instructions, and also the needs of the people.
Okay,
The hand, to carry out the priestly duties, the sacrifices, the service.
right.
And the foot, to walk in God's ways, to live according to his commands, to lead the people correctly. It's like consecrating their senses, their actions, their whole path in life, dedicating their entire physical being to this service,
Wow, that's powerful imagery.
isn't it? And there's more to this ordination offering. Specific parts of the ram: the fat tail, inner fats, the right thigh.
The good parts again.
Yes. And then from that basket of unleavened bread, he takes 3 types: a regular cake, one made with oil, and a thin wafer.
So, meat and bread.
He puts the bread on top of the fat portions and the thigh, puts it all into the hands of Aaron and his sons,
Okay.
and they perform a wave offering. They wave it all before the Lord.
What does the waving signify?
It's generally seen as presenting the offering to God, acknowledging it belongs to him, maybe dedicating the results of their future priestly work back to him. A presentation gesture.
Then Moses takes it back from them.
Takes it back, yes, and burns it all on the altar on top of the burnt offering that was already there. It's called an ordination offering, a pleasing aroma.
And Moses gets a piece, too.
He does. The breast of that ordination ram is Moses' portion. He waves that too. It's all very choreographed.
Incredibly detailed, but even after all that, they're not done yet.
Not quite. The ordination isn't fully complete. Moses gives him instructions for the next 7 days.
7 days? What do they have to do?
They need to cook the leftover meat from that ordination ram right there at the entrance to the tent of meeting
Okay.
and eat it there, along with the leftover bread from the basket. Whatever they don't eat gets burned.
So a special meal. But the main thing.
The main thing is they are absolutely forbidden from leaving the entrance of the tent of meeting for 7 whole days.
Stuck there for a week.
Day and night. The text is very clear. Stay there until the days of your ordination are completed. It says what was done that day was commanded by the Lord to make atonement for them.
And it mentions they have to do this so they would not die. That sounds serious.
Extremely serious.
Yeah.
It underlines the immense sanctity of this process and the danger of not treating it with the utmost reverence and obedience. This isn't just a retreat. It's a critical period of transition, a matter of life and death.
But that 7-day period, it's like the final sealing of the deal.
It seems that way. 7 often signifies completion or perfection in the Bible. It's like they're totally immersed in the sacred space, fully absorbing the requirements of their role before they can actually begin their public ministry. A really intense, focused transition.
So when you step back and look at this whole chapter, the washing, the specific clothes, the oil, the blood, those 3 different sacrifices, the ear, hand, foot thing, the 7 days, it paints an incredibly detailed picture.
Very like us.
It shows you just how much went into being set apart for God in ancient Israel. It wasn't casual at all. It was this huge physical ritual transformation.
Exactly. Which kind of leaves us with a big question, doesn't it? When you consider just how demanding and physical this whole 7-day process was, what does that tell you about how they understood what it meant to be called into holy service? And maybe think about how this super elaborate physical ritual contrasts with how leadership or sacred roles get established in other times or traditions. What does that difference make you think about consecration itself?